And one of the things that we talked about that we wanted to make sure of, and I'll let you speak to a little bit to this, Kellye, before we get started, is that it is super important to give students time to process any of the verbal cues for these exercises that you're giving, and to really take the time to teach and practice the correct set for posture, the way you're sitting in your chair, or even if you have them stand up, however you're having them do. So setting them up for posture, setting up their movements, and then really as the teacher to monitor students via the Zoom screen and offer adjustments as needed, which you totally did that with me when we were going through this, where you're like, okay, make sure your chin's level to the floor, and you know, just little adjustments like that. So the great thing is that is a little bit different than, let's say, Kellye has done yoga classes for my husband and I, is that because it's Zoom and the students can see themselves, they can self-adjust. So the posture is so important, and it's something that you're going to be having us reset as you begin each of these activities. And I think it goes back, I think it's so funny, it kind of circles back to when teachers or parents would say, sit up straight. Well, there's really something to that, right? Like, talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, first of all, I'll just walk you through the posture. You want your feet flat on the floor, ideally, except again, we don't know what's going on in the household. Some kids are sitting on stools, so there can't be feet on, so maybe it can be on a rung. Or maybe we can just encourage them to sit straight in the chair. And the reason I'm starting with feet and the way is that's the foundation for sitting up straight. So when we sit up straight, we're not going to be able to do that unless we've created a strong foundation. And so then it's simply a matter of shoulders up, roll them back and down, and then that nice level chin mentioned a moment ago, where your chin is actually level to the floor. It's not lifted, it's not down, and with the shoulders pulled back, we're not in that tech neck pose, which most of us tend to get. We're jutting our chin and our head forward, really not allowing for full relaxation and lung capacity to be used. So it's as simple as that. Relaxed hands.
Okay. And the other thing that I loved about that is that if you came up with a name for that, if a teacher came up with a name, or let kids come up with a name, then that could be a really simple verbal cue in the middle of lessons. If you're not in the flow of your day and your teaching, if you're not in a place where you can stop and take this 3 to 5 minute break to do specific movements, you can use that word, and students know feet on the floor, shoulders up to your ears and back, and chin level with the floor.
Right.
Where they can do it instantaneously. And that alone, even just now as I've done it, it gives you a different level of attention and focus, I think. It just kind of refreshes. And anyway, okay, so that's super important.